This is Natural Word.
Welcome back to another episode of Natural Word Men's Lifeline. Episode 3, Dating After Divorce.
Yeah, so we want to big up all those who subscribe to us on YouTube. We want to big up all those who followed us on Instagram. We also want to thank those who sent feedback, whether either commenting under the video or sending us a WhatsApp message. We have received a lot of good feedback and a lot of suggestions, and we are definitely going to employ them as we go forward in this podcast. We have received a question or two, a few questions, and we'd like to address it before we get into the meat of the matter.
Yes.
Because we're talking about divorce, dating after divorce this week. And the question is, how does one measure emotional maturity? How does one measure emotional maturity? So, Lamar, you want to take that one there or you want me to go first?
Well, you can go first. You can go first with this one.
Well, as if you remember the episode 1 and 2, when you see somebody that's emotional mature, in my opinion, that person is able to manage their emotions in such a way that as simple as something that triggers him will not trigger the person.
But that's easier said than done, you know, because it sounds nice. To me, it sounds nice, but how practical it is, I think that's where the real question lies.
Yeah, I think it's determined by how you can see the trigger and not react to it.
All right, so let's use a real example then. Say you're in a relationship and every time this person leaves on the bathroom pipe. Yes, when you use that one. Leaves on the bathroom
We never said toilet seat up.
Well, either one. Either way is an example. It works, right? So, and every time she does it, and it acts like she doesn't care, and it
like water bill though expensive.
Yeah, all of these things, and just peeves your way. No, this is where the practical aspect comes in. So, that is the part. No, how you really kind of toned down, not being upset, not being, boy, I can't bother with this, man. This is foolishness. I'm tired to talk to her and all of them. So how? So that's my question. How?
So me try answer it. There's this video I saw on Facebook, one social media, where the wife try to get the husband to be more husbandly in the house, so to speak. And the way she do it was, you just sit down in the bed. You don't do nothing. And this and that. You think him really want to do that? But if she came to him and said, "Dear, we have kids. You really want them you as an example to be sitting down in the room. You know, you want to instill this type of behavior in your children, but yet still you're not setting an example." You hear the sound, it sound different in terms of the aggression and how I bring it apart across to the person. So sometimes emotional maturity is measured by how you can actually bring across your anger or your disapproval for something without getting so upset and angry. I mean, that's one aspect of emotional maturity, because if you want to bring it to work, you have to resist sending a response to your superior or even to your co-worker. Yeah, you understand? And that simply means changing a word in an email or changing a word that you say. Instead of saying, if like them say, with all due respect, disrespect is coming after it. You can't really, you have to know how to do it. It takes a level of, self-control.
I think that is the real thing. That's a word.
Self-control. And also thinking about your future. Because listen,
work is concerned,
if this job no worth it, guess what? I'll say anything and go about my business. But guess what? You have to consider, like, listen, I got to put food on my table, and I just come here to work and leave. Once I step through that door, work is done.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. You said it right. I think self-control is where it is at. Self-control.
Yep.
That moment when you can pull back yourself from saying something or just realize what is going on. Because oftentimes what happening is that it's almost like a smoke screen. Something is happening which is a symptom of the actual thing that is going on.
Yeah.
So back to the example. Continuously leaving the pipe running every time afterward. It could just be that the person has a forgetful mind. She could be just not paying attention enough.
Yeah.
It could be a number of things. But, you know, just where a man is concerned, what kind of foolishness this and can't bother and all these things, right? So sometimes it's something else that is going on, and then we'd have to just try to see beyond the actual action and see what could possibly be causing this and all of that. So I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, is that where emotional maturity is concerned, it has to do a lot with self-control.
Yeah.
Being able to see something happening and just hear what? If I behave in this particular way, this is what is going to happen. So I need to just dial back down a bit and just stop and think for a moment. You know, when you're children and when they get upset and angry, you count to 10.
Yeah, true.
That may be what needs to be employed.
Misery, love, chaos, you know.
Yeah, man. So these are so even just that simple one thing. Take something from kiddies days, from when you were a child. Count to 10 before you maybe lash out. You get angry about something, or put a little bit more practical. How you send that text. Somebody says something you don't like, and before you even just shoot off a text without thinking properly. Right, so even those things.
I've deleted many texts before.
Yeah, see? Right? So it all goes down to that. And I think really and truly, emotional maturity goes to self-control.
Yeah.
You have to be able to see something. And as I said, it is easier said than done. Because sometimes when some person do some things to you, there's only one thing coming to your mind, and just to retaliate. Straight retaliate. So, but sometimes, as I say, self-control. And I think we as you know, individuals need to tap into that self-control thing.
Yep. It take a lot of prayer and work and determination for do it too. Because trust me, nowadays, one little thing can trigger you get the wrong end of the stick from me. You know? But as I say, self-control for real.
Oh yes, and to add to the self-control part, not also try not to read into something that you're not clear about. Yes, man.
Ask question, man.
Yes, man. Ask question. So
what do you mean?
Yeah, man. I'm the type of person, even if it's obvious, I'm going to ask you.
Do you mean this?
Is this what you mean? Yeah, man, because when you say yes, in my book, that is exactly what you mean. We're not going around, we're not twisting.
Yeah, true.
No insinuation, no assumptions. No. I'm going to ask you straight.
We're adults here in the Lamar, so you don't really have to put them on the ground and talk. If you're an adult, you must be able to talk and tell what you feel.
True.
And talk how you disapprove and what you like and what you not like. We're not mind readers, yeah? And that's one more thing on emotional maturity. If you can't express how you feel and what you like and what you dislike and what you feel, basically how you feel, you're not mature enough emotionally. And if you feel yourself, say you're angry so much that you can't, tears come in your eye, and I mean I say tears not for come in your eye. But if your tears come in your eye, that means you reach that point of boiling point. At that point of boiling where you can't express yourself, you don't reach a point emotional maturity yet. And that's how you basically measure your level of emotional maturity. If you can't express how you feel, even in anger, without disrespecting the individual or disrespecting people, then you have a lot to learn and a lot to go.
More work to do.
Yeah.
Some more work to do.
Yeah. So we want to thank you for sending in your feedback. We want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to us as well. And we continue to add. Well, we continue to wait on your feedback, and we'll try our best to answer your questions as the episodes go by. We'll not answer everything at once, but we'll get to it definitely.
We'll get to them one by one.
Yeah, man.
And if you even want to chime in the comment section about what you also think emotional maturity is, feel free to do so, because our agenda here is just to share even one word with someone that can make even one person's life just a little bit better. So that's it. So if you sharing something positive, and please only positive comments, but if you can share a positive comment that can affect someone in in a very nice way, then
Yes,
you would
man.
have also started to help us to reach others out there. So put in a nice comment there, you know, how you think what emotional maturity is, and how someone can strive to be closer to be an emotional
Yeah, man.
mature person.
Yeah, I remember, you know, life is a learning process and also a journey, not a destination. So if you can learn something from somebody that make you better, grab it. And remember, we are not professionals, people. We are different professionals in our different right. But at this moment in time, we are just trying to, what you call it now, get you thinking that there's something more to life than just what it is right now. So, as we move on, today's episode is going to be an episode that is going to be, well, probably discussed in future episodes following up.
Episode of an episode.
Yeah, me I tell you, boy. So today we'll be discussing dating after divorce. And if you don't pick up yet, the reason why we're having this episode is because we have experience in divorce.
Experience where that is concerned.
That sound weird, don't it? Experience in divorce, like we just married, we just divorced. Yeah, but yeah, so we're discussing dating after divorce today, and we're going to discuss our challenges that we face, you know, doing this thing again. We're going to discuss, discuss a little past matters and, you know, why the marriage never worked, probably. You know, who knows?
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah. And then we're going to tell little things that we face out there and why we don't choose certain people anymore and why we don't do this anymore. Or, you know, why we just have issues generally with dating.
Yeah. Today, for this episode, we'll be talking about a few things, just like what Akim just said a while ago. We'll be doing some talking.
Yeah, so, you know, first, let me explain a little past. So give a background first. You see me? My name is Akim Thomas. Got married in 2012, and that marriage lasted for 2 years. Why it failed? Well, only God knows. But seriously, it just never worked out. And you know, to be honest, my therapist say, you know, when people ask why your marriage never work, you must say, boy, it just never worked out. But to be honest, I tell you straight up, the time when I got married, I never knew what marriage entailed. It was a little bit deeper than what it was supposed to be for me, especially at the age that I got married, you know. And then there are certain things that, you know, in my mind I thought I was ready for, but then when you go into it, you know, it's a different story. You know, it looked good from the outside, but when you get in, you know, it's very strange. But not saying that the marriage was bad. You know, it was good up to a point. Because the mere fact that you reach as far as to go counseling and marriage and wedding, it was good. But things just never work out. You know. You want to continue, Lamar?
All right.
We're all spilling beans here, you know?
All right. So my name is Lamar Farquharson, and I got married in 2010. My marriage lasted 6 years, 11 months, and somewhere about 20 days, somewhere there about. I wasn't really counting the time period, really.
You
but
have the hours and minutes and seconds.
No, but that was it. Some persons will be listening, will be married persons. Some persons will be people in our category, and you'll have some persons who are not yet married, some persons who are desirous of being married, and some persons who don't want to get married. Right? But there's something to learn from all of this. And not just that alone. We will have also a special feature.
Yeah, man,
right?
forget about that one.
Right.
On marriage, too.
Yes, a special feature on marriage. And we will get in some persons who are professionals in that area.
Quite so.
Yeah, man, very professional.
Whole
years of experience. Been married for some amount of time. Having from different persons, as in different couples. So, along the way, we'll just throw in a few of
tidbits.
these. Yeah, man, little tidbits. so we all can learn from it, because it will also be a learning experience for us as well.
Yeah.
Life is a school. It doesn't you don't finish. Sorry, you don't finish.
You don't graduate.
Yeah, man, you don't finish learning where that is concerned. All right, but in relation to my marriage, though, there was a lot of things that needed fine tuning.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I needed a lot of fine tuning, and the things that I wasn't prepared for, nor was she prepared for either.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, someone decided that here we're going.
No, it'll work.
It's not working. Enough is enough, and stepped. So that was part of it. I know some person will listen and say, yes, but the grimy details and all of these things.
No.
But we also have to protect the other person regardless. Yeah, man. It's no...
Even though marriage fail, we respect
the
individual. I tell you.
Still about respecting the other person, because truth to be told, I believe that I'd have come a far way from the whole divorce thing. And as a part of that, meaning that you still respect the person regardless. She's still a human being. She still have her life living and continue and stuff. So
I can respect you from a distance,
right,
to be honest.
So still have to protect her and show her respect regardless. Even though things never go how I wanted to have gone. Still show the respect.
There's a disclaimer, Every marriage can work, in my opinion. But it's two persons have to want it to work and determined for it to work. And you can't say the third person, because God never designed marriage to be in divorce.
Yep.
You have to institute that. And if you're listening and you're contemplating divorce, make sure you exhaust all possibilities before you even do it.
Yes.
Because loneliness not loneliness not right. Loneliness is real. As me I say. So you don't want to make a decision over a trivial thing. And then, you end up regret it.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that I would not even wish divorce on any person enemy. That, you're right. I was going to say worst enemy, because I don't really have an enemy from my side to the person. I mean, somebody, I'm an enemy. But I wouldn't wish divorce on anyone, because it is not a nice thing. Sometimes some people in and out of marriage and in and out of relationship, and marriage and a relationship and just a regular relationship with a boyfriend and girlfriend are two different things. Yeah. And as I said, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, because it does a lot to you financially, mentally, emotionally.
And even if kids are involved, consider it too.
Worse, right? Yeah, man. And it can also alter your perspective on relationships and life in general.
We're going to discuss that too, because that's a question I want to ask and explore, to be honest.
Right. So it does affect. So you don't just divorce today and just run your marriage tomorrow. Well, persons do it, but it's not advised.
No, that's for a general relationship. You can't just break up and then go in the next one. So, and I think I said this to someone a couple years ago. A regular relationship is not a marriage.
No.
It's not the same thing as a marriage. You see, once you jump that broom, you have now assumed officially the responsibility for the next person. In a regular relationship, and if you want to call it a committed relationship, it is still not a responsibility for the person.
Yeah.
Now your decisions change as a married person. Everything you do for the person change. You can't just say, okay, I'll go Cancun today. And say you're married.
Can't do that.
You can't just do that. It's a teamwork process. It's a whole host of collaboration. You see, marriage you can just switch out the word marriage to support, to commitment, to dedication, to desire, because you have to have a whole heap of desires. Yeah, you can switch out those words. It's the same thing. It requires that level of commitment, and that is what we need. At least if you don't get anything from the rest of this podcast, you have to remember that marriage is a whole host of commitment and collaboration and teamwork. Remember that. So, and then make sure them people know, we're not here condoning. Is that the right word? Condoning divorce. You see me, sir?
Nope, not one bit.
Because as me tell you from the beginning, I never got married to get divorced because that wasn't my intention. You know,
Right.
and nobody should. If you plan to go divorce somebody after they're married, then stop look the papers to go foreign or something. You know, stop look the papers to go foreign. Just tell it straight up and be honest, man. Come on, man. Don't waste people time. No, if you just want to have sex, talk the truth. It's better to marry than to burn, and the Bible said. Anyways, alright. So since you already said this a while ago, say, it changed your whole perspective. If you look back, change your whole perspective on dating. If you look back on your idea of dating back then to the idea of dating now, how has that changed?
It has changed in a number of ways. For example, the outward appearance was a main
Focus.
and should I say it one more time? Main thing.
A mean or main?
Main, M-A-I-N, man, main thing, right? Because then, you know, girl look good shape, nice and pretty face and all of these lovely things.
Body
right?
turn up.
Yeah, man, all of them something there, you know. So the physical became primary. The personality was probably secondary, or might I even say tertiary, right? Right.
You really don't, you know.
Yeah, man, say way down. What was most important was way down the list on the priority list, and what wasn't necessarily all that important was at the top. Because the truth is, beauty fades. No matter how much liposuction,
I true that.
or Botox, or
belly strap.
yes, or
Pulling
any
my
kind
belly.
of tuck and go surgery and all of that. The truth of the matter is, in about the next 3 to 4 years, all of that going to change again.
True
It's
that.
going to shift, right? But you hardly find somebody who would have a really decent personality, really change from being the way that they are, because people are who they are at their core once you get to know them properly.
Where you say character don't change, right?
Right,
Character is the same throughout your life.
right. And what happened is that even though some person may say, oh, you know, the person just changed for me. No, the person just show you who they really were at that time.
So you say meet the representative from the before.
Yeah, man, represented before, and then you really meet the other person after. But that's true. It's true, man. So the list. So what was most important was further down on the list.
Yeah.
And what shouldn't have been that important was all the way at the top. So, you know, we always say we get our priorities mixed up. That's exactly what it was. And even so being, you know, I as a person wasn't all that ready either. Because if I was ready, I would have factored in a lot of things. For example, what I just said a while ago, in relation to having the priorities mixed up and also putting other contingencies in place. You know, just in case, you know, where finances were concerned, where housing concerned, motor car concerned, all of these things, right? Because once you get married, it's no longer about you. It's about you and the other person. So even dating going forward must be you start to be the person who you aim to be. Because the truth is, every day you are now, how the saying go? You are now becoming who you are going to be. So there's no overnight thing where, here what? When I get married, I'm going to be a faithful man. Me I go stop look the girl them down the road, and then me I go stop spending out my money by foolishness and
that behavior is innate. If you have it before, it never change.
Yeah, man, I go start, think about family and all of those things. If you're not doing it from before you start dating, then it's no overnight thing where tomorrow I get married tomorrow and all of a sudden I'm the most faithful husband alive and I'm the most financially conscious person alive.
Fidelity.
Yeah, it has to be who you are now. And it goes right across the board, even for women. Because I have heard this a lot and I think it is ridiculous. And this, again, is my opinion. I think it's ridiculous.
Don't fight us.
A lot of women say that, I am not going to do these things until I get the ring on my finger.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Right?
A whole heap of time on social media.
And when the ring goes on the finger, it's still not do. Because guess why? It is what you have been practicing all along to not do it. So overnight, there won't be like flip of a switch and then hear what? Yeah, man, this is me. I'm a new person. It
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
yeah,
work
that's true.
that way. Even when somebody is baptized, the day you go down in the water and you come back up, yes, we're going to say you are now become a new person, but your habits are still there, right? So over time, God will work on those habits and get rid of those bad habits. So right now, for an individual who's desirous about getting married, right? Right now, if your mindset is not in the place where you're what? You know
You're
what?
willing to do these things.
Yeah, man. So here what? I live alone. So guess what? I need to start practice for cook. Yes, man. Both male and
female. Don't get it twisted,
right.
yeah?
So I need to start practice for cook now because guess what? Now, when I am married, me I go have to cook for the other person, regardless,
Eventually.
male or female. So if these are the things that are not, you don't start to practice these things. When you get married, going to be problems. It's going to be problems, right?
True.
If you are the type of person, and these are just examples, get up out of the bed like me and don't spread up the bed. We're gonna work, cause guess what? No.
But I got mash up back in the night.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's my idea, anyways.
And all of these things, right? You know.
See the producer look
Yeah,
for me
man,
like
right.
we're upset.
Yeah, see how the power, man. Right? So if you don't have the mindset to say, here what? If I'm doing this now, I have to be very much conscious that, you know, once we start take somebody serious, start make up the bed. Every
Simple.
time you get up out of the bed, even get up even 2 minutes earlier, make up the bed. Because you don't know, or well, at least at this point in time, you may not know, but then again, you may start to date somebody and them start to say, you know, sir, man, let me get up, make up my bed, so you know what that means. Are you a hint that right there, so you know, so here,
Yeah.
I need to look at this. You know, mean say I got change, you know, but you're just going to modify your actions in relation to that. Because really and truly, you as a person, you will not change who you are to
But
the
you
core.
compromise, yeah?
Yeah, man, to the core, but it's called compromise, right? And a lot of people personally believe, oh, I saw me stay, you must take me same
That's
way.
the wrong approach to life. Yeah?
No, when I must take you same way, so, right? While all that is being said, is you have to start practicing these things. And those are just two examples. You have a whole host of other things, right? Talking about how you present yourself, how you take care of yourself, if you wash your clothes and all these things. And even though I say this thing, some person may think of it as, man, really come on the program and talk about that. But these are real, actual life.
Yo,
and
I have a cousin that was upset with his wife because the wife squeezed the toothpaste from the top instead of the bottom. Because he grew up like that. yeah. You understand? Him roll the toothpaste up. Yeah, you understand? So some people grow different.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with dating too. But then you're not going to look at that, you know. But now, when you get older, you know, you're more mature and the things of outside of the household appeal to you more. Don't appeal to you as much as you get older, because then you're more concerned about how your house look and how it clean, and you know, when you come home, you want to come home to peace instead of chaos or whatever.
And that's another topic too, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
So these are the things where you look for.
Right.
I mean, as me say, I usually say to I think probably say to one person. A lot of us are prepared for the wedding and not the marriage. And that's one thing with marrying young too, you know. We are prepared for the fanfare and the views and
the pretty suit
and the pretty suit and the
dress.
pictures. But we're not prepared for the dirty and the preparation for the pictures. You know, and that's I think that was my idea of what I was dating before. Nowadays, like, yo, if I come home to you and listen, you look the same way as you come back, you know, then you have a concern. But that sounds trivial though. But as simple as that, somebody has that idea.
Yeah, because there are no two relationships that are the same. There are no two marriages that are the same. There are things that will work for you that may not work for the other person. There may be issues that to you it may be nothing, and to somebody else it may be a very big mountain and one big rock of Gibraltar in the middle of the house, right? And to them it may just be an issue, but not straying so far away from the whole how I look at dating now is that it's about the substance. And I'm going to be a little bit forthright now.
Yeah, man, do it, man, do it.
Because I am the type of person, I'm going to be straight up. What you bringing to the table. And please, I don't want you to hear nothing about no sex. So yeah, and that's me. What are you bringing to the table, right? And when I say what are you bringing to the table, I'm not even talking about money, right? Because money can enough today and it gone tomorrow, right? So what does that mean, right? So what I'm saying is that, what are you bringing to the table? Are you a homemaker? Are you somebody who, if I have an issue at work, can you offer some advice or at least point me in the right direction to where at least I can go look some advice, something, right? Are you a positive person? Everything come with an idea and say, boy, you know, honey, I'm thinking about, say, boy, I think about starting a business. And boy, as you start, I know people who start business. And it never work.
Persons are down now before it go up.
Yeah, man. You know? Pure negativity. So we talked about what do you bring to the table, right? Are you the type of person who will listen? Are you the type of person who is willing to run and just start fight? Are you the supportive type of person? I want to say supportive. I am going to break it down just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Are you a shoulder that can be leaned on? Can I call you in the middle of the night if I can't sleep and I have an issue on my head where I need to try
you
to find some solution?
have to be clear to, you know, Lamar, because a lot of people think say we are bash women.
No, man.
This goes both ways.
Yeah, man, this go both ways. This go both ways, man. Both ways. Everything I'm talking about, you call it, you know what? Let's go both ways, right?
Yeah.
For both persons, whether male or female,
this
whichever one.
Non-gender.
Right. So it go both ways. So it must be that you're bringing something that is, and I am calling all of these things tangible things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So even though it's not money, it's not sex, we're not talking about good looks either. We're talking about, can I
count on you?
Yeah, can I count on you? Can I know, say, boy, all right, light bill for pay, right? And something happen, money come to the bank late, you have money in your account, can you spot me until that time? Can you lend me that until that time?
What do you think about spotting? Right? Two are we supposed to deal with the bill them and so forth? Like,
right. No, but we're still talking about dating. Now.
Yeah, well, that's
dating,
true.
Right?
That's true.
Right.
Dating with the point. We're not married yet.
This, we're talking about dating. But I think what a lot of people have in their head is that, oh, but none of them something until they get married. And when they get married, they have difficulty doing it because it is not something you have been practicing. It's not something that to you is the norm, right? So, yeah, man. If something happen, can I say that, boy, here what happen? My car broke down on the road. You drive as well. Can you come and assist me? Come stay with me until the mechanic come. All of these, I mean, as long as it's not work, like the night or something.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So we're not talking about anything that is out of the way, meaning it is not practicable, right? We're talking about things that is really practical, right? So all of these things, right? Are you somebody who the other person can think of in a positive way? When I think about you, I'm one team brother. Maybe I'll smile.
A beer chaos, you know.
Yep. Beer chaos, right? Right? Are you somebody who when I think about you, I think about smiling, right? I'm not talking about like a warm, fuzzy feeling inside their belly, because that after a couple months are gone. Right? Yeah. Not talking about that, right? Talking about somebody who is of substance, somebody who they have a dream. You can say, boy, no, really I think about a boy, move, go Timbuktu, you know. And boy, but me know say Timbuktu probably not the best, but Timbuktu have all heap of good things that go on. And say, here we go on now. What do you think about this and look at different ways, avenues, even if it can't work, you know.
But you try.
Yeah, man, but it's not like the person, boy, foolishness, that and that make no sense. No. Look at it from all angles and say, boy, maybe since I don't want to move, maybe not Timbuktu, maybe I can move to somewhere else. And
and it keep the same.
And all of that stuff, right? So where dating is concerned, where I am concerned, and so I say all of that in a one big mouthful just to show that when you're looking for someone, it has to be someone with a lot
of substance.
And the sad part about it though is that we are Christians here. So automatically we are going to look for someone who loves God and is looking for his second return, and that's just it's true.
Yeah, that's
right?
that's the major thing.
So even though we didn't mention it and put it at the top of the list, it actually is at the top of the list
because it's kind of it's secondary for us, right? When you talk, not secondary in the terms of it's a second nature for us whenever we are looking for somebody.
Right.
You can't be dating somebody who don't have no ultimate goal of reaching heaven.
Right. So with all of that considered, and as we made mention of all the Christian aspect though, is that I'm going to make mention of Christian aspect. Is this person someone who's willing to pray with you?
And for you.
Yeah, man, and for you, and you do the same. So this goes both way, male or female, right? So is this someone who you can say, "I hear what? Let us have, let us have worship together. Let us, read the Bible together. Just spend that type of time with God." Because the truth of the matter is that there are 3 persons in that marriage and that relationship: you, the other person, and God.
Yeah.
And if God is not in it, all hell is going to break loose.
You're
And
right.
and the truth about the matter is, marriage is not a secular institution. So no matter believer anybody wants, if you just go RGD alone, that's fine, But just remember that a marriage is not a secular institution. A marriage is a Christian institution, was created by God. So you can't go around that part there. So if you leave out the person who created the institution, who has goodwill for you, then you ain't have problems. And that's just it. So to answer the question now, in completeness with all that, what I've just said a while ago, is just to say that it must be more than just the outward,
appearance,
what you see the person look like or what they may pretend to be. You have to look for more than that. The Bible says, "By their fruits ye shall know them." So look at what the person is doing. Is this person the type of person who always angry with them friends, but them always just nice to you alone?
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Something
and even the
that.
mother too, when you look at that, you have to look at their relationships with the parents and their siblings too.
And siblings, right. So all of these things are things that you look at. Does this person have a good, just general temperament?
Yeah.
Does this person look out for others? And one of the ways you can actually look at persons doing is that a person may say, "I'm a kind person, I'm this, I'm that," but you never see them do nothing kind yet. Because I've known a lot of persons, "Oh, I'm a loving person, loving not them mind."
Yeah, them love themselves.
I'm like, come on, right? Right? If you're going to be the type of person that somebody who really and truly wants to consider to be a partner, somebody who will be with them through times, you must exhibit the qualities, right?
Yeah.
And I go to the Bible again. The Bible said that, boy, if you want to have friends, firstly, you must be friendly.
Quite
right?
so.
So you must put
Quite
on
so.
what you want from others.
Yeah, you must
right?
you must give what you require, right? Yeah.
So more than just the superficial, more than just the outside, just look at the person's true character. And you should be all right. And you of course, you have a prayer too. So I'm praying, ask God.
Pray and ask with discernment, because you need it.
Yeah, man. But everything else is concerned outside of after your prayer and everything. You just have to just look at the person. Don't just look at the person a week or two and say, "Yeah, man, yes, man, we can date that person. That person
man,
good and nice." No,
yes,
look at the person, who they are, the things that they do, the activities that they engage in.
So.
Activities that you engage in tells who you are, right? I can't be somebody who may hang out and par with scammers every day, lottery scammers every day, and then I go say, "Boy, I'm a really, really nice guy. I'm the type of person you carry home to mommy and all of that." Man,
who's going to say that, Lamar?
But that's what I say,
Who's going to say that to you outright? Like, tell me about yourself. I'm a really nice person. No, nobody now said that. You have to observe that for yourself.
But it's true. It's true. You have to know what this person is like to you. And them always say follow your gut feeling. Sometimes somebody not sit right with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're going to cut them off, because
it takes time, man.
Yeah, man, your gut feeling can be off too, and this is true. But oftentimes or not, it is pointing you to something, and that's something you need to find out what that something is. So let's work with that. So that's my take on the dating thing.
On that gut feeling note, we're going to take a break and then go to our special feature. And this feature here, when I tell you about this, guys, it's the opposite of what we're talking about. It's actually a marriage that has been going on for over 30 years. It's actually a marriage that has had ups and downs, but you're still there. Yeah, and as we play it, listen, see if you can take some advice from it. We're actually going to be taking some advice from it too, because nobody's married over 30 years and not have some experience. So please listen, and we'll be right back. This is Natural Word.
Welcome to our special feature brought to you by Natural Word Men's Lifeline. Now, today we'll be interviewing a very special couple that's dear to the Natural Word family. And I'm going to, at this time, ask them to introduce themselves before we get going.
I'm Christine Claudette James Thomas.
Delroy Anthony Thomas.
All right, so we're just going to ask you guys a few questions and just want you to share with us as honestly as possible your responses. So first up, what is marriage in your opinion?
Okay, Delroy, you want to go first or I must?
Don't really matter seriously still. What the question was, what is marriage? It is basically legally and formally recognized union of two people as partners, and of course two people God's way, a man and a woman.
Oh, that was exactly what I wanted to say.
Really no.
A union, it's a legal union between a man and a woman.
Emphasis applied.
Yes, husband and wife, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go now. Why, Delroy, why did you choose Christine? And at the same time, Christine, why did you choose Delroy?
Oh, I chose Delroy for my husband. Why? Because he struck me as someone when I met him that I could reason with. We could talk night and day without quarreling or without disagreeing upon certain points. And if we didn't agree with each other's point, at least he would listen to my point and try to understand that this is what I am saying and whatever, so that was a good thing for me. And he was a very principled person, right? So therefore,
I'm still the one. I'm still the one for me right now. Choose her. To be truthful, there was not much choice in a way. She fit the bill in all respect, And if I was asked to do it again, I will do it 100 times. She's still the one.
You could have fooled me.
No, there's no fooling on here. This thing is a very serious thing. And you don't play with this because this thing is for keeps and for life till death.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest those who are going down this road to get married to ensure that you dot all I's, cross all T's, to ensure that even if trouble come, you'll be able to go through the water and deal with it, and there's no perfect marriage. There will always be issues.
Now, being married for 34 years is a pretty long time. How do you resolve conflicts?
Oh, I tried my very best at all times, not in resolving conflicts, not to speak derogatively to my husband, and also to be very respectful to him, because one thing I learned is that when you say things which you will regret, it lingers with persons for life, and it can be very destructive, So I tried my very best to keep away from doing those things, even though sometimes no two persons are alike, but sometimes you get a little irritable with actions of each other, and then it's good to stop, count, as you know, our seniors would say, count one to 10 before you say something, right? Which will not put you in a good light. So therefore,
so issues will arise, and you have to deal with it. Try to, as best as possible, to resolve it. When the issue comes, don't let it stale. Try as best as possible to deal with it right away, and try to avoid side issues other than the issues at hand. Try your best not to go back in time 20 years, 30 years. This is what happened, and then you're relating it to this issue now. So sometimes these things cause the situation to escalate and so forth. So therefore, the best way to do that is to stay with the issue, and as usual, someone always say, try to deal with issues when you are not tired.
yes, that's a good point.
When you are not tired, you
I
want
like
to sleep,
that.
you are irritable, and sometimes things, and let's face it, the challenges of life get to people from time to time, and sometimes you act out of the ordinary. But the best way to do that, remember that you're talking to your personal friend, your best friend, so the issue should be easier to deal with in situation like that.
All right, and finally, what is your advice to those who are dating or who are planning to get married?
Always, I would encourage anyone to, expecting to get married, right, or prospective, you call them, just to assume the best of the other person.
So, one need to recognize your spouse, understand your spouse, notice all the red flags. Notice all the red flags that will raise its head during courtship. Don't take them for granted. When you are married, it doesn't necessarily mean that these red flags
Will
go
go
back to blue. It might just escalate. So take all of these things into consideration before you say I do, right? My old people say, see me and come live with me and two different something, right? You are two separate people, two strangers. You are not brothers and sisters. You are coming together to make a union, to marry. And the fact that we are different temperament, we have different emotional issues, we have to learn how to work them out, and once they arise, look at the whole issue and see how best we can deal with them before we get into this lifelong relationship of marriage. Remember, it is a lifelong situation. You don't want to end up in a relationship and after that you realize he or she used to do certain things and you expect to change that person during your marriage relationship. Deal with it first, and if it's not changing, then you have a choice to make.
And another thing that I want to add to that, spend quality time dating, learning about the person. And I don't want to give a time period, but I don't think 3 months is enough time for you to learn somebody before you enter into marriage. That's not enough time. And as one elder would say, so many years from I was about 14, he said, you don't start learning about your spouse until you live together. But it's not that we are supposed to be living together to learn. You spend much time. Now, spending time, when I say quality time, I mean go to the supermarket with the person. See how the person would operate in that, right, in that respect. Follow the person, go anywhere. And then in dating, I think if one is interested in another, they would always want the company to be in the company of each other. So therefore that would give them ample time to learn about each other. So I would encourage persons to spend
Finally,
much
for
time.
me, is that get to know your spouse's relative and parent, and see how your spouse treat her mother or her brothers and sister. And you can make a decision also based upon how your spouse treat his or her mom.
Thank you so much, Delroy and Christine, for sharing with us in our program today. I'm sure our listeners will be or would have been, enlightened or encouraged by your wonderful words today. This special feature was brought to you by the Natural Word Men's Lifeline podcast. And at this time, it's back over to our hosts, Lamar and Akim.
Welcome back, guys. I want to thank you for listening to us. This program was a bit long, so we had to split it up. So you have to stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. And of course, if you want to listen to the full program, you can catch it on Spotify. Thank you for listening. This is Natural Word Men's Lifeline.